Hi, my name is Ann Allstott, and I am from TDECU, your credit union. I'm excited to be here with you today to talk about jobs in banking and finance. I work for TDCU, which is a credit union. It's very similar to a bank in that we help people with their financial needs, whether it be a checking account, a savings account, a loan, a mortgage. So we help people with anything dealing with money. So banking and finance has quite a few different types of jobs. I wanted to talk a little bit about the skills, talents, and abilities needed for those types of positions in banking and finance. One of the types of positions that is in banking and finance is accountants. Accountants get to deal with the money, not necessarily the cold hard cash that we just talked about or we just saw, but they deal with money on paper. They manage money moving from general ledgers, accounts receivable, accounts payable, bringing money in, paying money out. They make sure that the bills are paid for the companies and that all of the money that's supposed to be there is there. So they keep track of it on paper. Another position in the financial industry is what we call financial advisors or financial planners. And those positions, those people help our members or help individuals with planning out their finances all the way from the very beginning as they're getting out into adulthood and starting their lives, helping them to plan as they grow their family, reaching major milestones. They help them come up with a plan so that when they're ready to retire, they have enough income and enough money to be able to continue the lifestyle that they've become accustomed to living. Another job in the banking and finance industry is what we call investment bankers. And investment bankers also deal mainly with money on paper. They don't really necessarily touch the cash. Their transactions are usually in the millions and sometimes billions of dollars. So very high pressure, deal with very large transactions, what we call mergers and acquisitions, helping companies purchase or sell off parts of their company and or buy other companies to increase their portfolios. Another area is what we call retail banking, and that's actually where my job, I'm a senior member center manager. I manage a branch for the credit union, and that's where really probably the majority of the financial jobs are, especially for TDCU. It's the largest number of employees in the credit union. And retail banking consists of tellers, customer service representatives, loan officers, and then also the bank managers and supervisors. So tellers are our entry-level position. It's probably the position where most people enter the credit union who don't have a lot of experience in the financial industry. To be a teller, the education that's required is usually a high school degree or an equivalent, GED, and some college or some higher schooling is helpful as well. Usually we look for cash handling experience, definitely some sort of customer service experience because you are dealing with our members, our customers face to face. The next level up is our customer service representatives, and those employees are responsible for opening new accounts, helping the members with any questions that they have on their accounts, also assisting members with loans, helping them get the things that they want and need, such as a car, a boat, a personal loan for pretty much whatever they need money for. The customer service representatives are able to do that. Customer service representatives can be both face-to-face with our members working in a branch, or they can also be working through our call center over the telephone, or also through our online channels working from computer to computer. That's typically the next step in the career path with an employee in the member centers or the branches. The next level would be our bank managers, and that's where my position comes in. As a manager, I supervise 20 people that I have working under me, tellers and customer service representatives, and then also my assistant managers. As a manager, my job is to make sure that all of the operations that go on within a member center or branch are taken care of. I have to make sure that I have the right staff in place. I schedule the staff. I make sure we have enough money for our members. So when members come in and want to take out money, I have to make sure that we have enough every week for them. And if we don't, I have to make sure and order it. So I make sure that all of the operational things that go on within the branch are taken care of. Another position that we have within the credit union, which also can fall under customer service representatives, but we also have other departments that handle larger transactions, are loan officers. Like I said, we can help members with loans like car loans, boat loans, RV loans. And then we also have departments that handle specialty loans such as mortgage. A mortgage is a loan that you would get when you purchase a house. That's probably going to be one of the largest purchases that you make in your life. So mortgage loan officers have to have special certifications. So they require some additional schooling and additional education that you wouldn't necessarily have in those other positions. We also have business loan services, and they also have to have some additional knowledge because of the types of loans that they deal with. And then they're typically a lot larger loans as well. And they're dealing with businesses who need loans to expand or grow, and help their business to thrive. So those are kind of the overall types of jobs that are in the financial industry. So what types of skills and abilities do we need for those types of jobs? First and foremost, every single one of those jobs, you got to like working with numbers, because every one of those jobs you're going to deal with numbers. So you have to be pretty good with numbers. Now, I'm very good with numbers, but I still use a calculator because I'm managing people's money, so I don't want to make a mistake. So, we have systems, our computer systems do a lot of the calculations and keep track, but it's only as good as you putting it in there. So making sure that as you're working with those numbers, paying attention to detail is extremely important as well. Again, if you're dealing with someone's money and you make a mistake, it can make people kind of upset. So extremely important that when you're working with those numbers that you're paying attention to details as well. For our tellers and any of our branch personnel dealing with large amounts of money, the tellers are actually dealing with that cold hard cash. So it actually can sometimes be a little overwhelming if you've never handled a large amount of money. So it's actually a skill to be comfortable in dealing with cash and feeling comfortable with it. That strong attention to detail, again, extremely important, and making sure that every penny is accounted for. We can't just have a penny sitting around on the counter. Every penny has a place and it belongs to someone or somewhere. So that's extremely important as well. In the banking industry, especially retail, you're dealing with people. So you really have to enjoy helping people because you are dealing with them face to face, day in and day out. And so wanting to help people is extremely important. If you don't like dealing with people, it's okay. That just not necessarily in the retail side of it, but working in accounting where you're in a cubicle and don't have a lot of interaction with people would probably be more of a type of job that would be more suitable for you if you're not necessarily a people person. But that's okay. It is a special skill to be dealing with people. Working in the banking industry can be a very competitive environment. It gives you the opportunity to earn greater potential. When you're in that competitive environment, especially like investment bankers, where you're dealing with the billions, millions of dollars, it's very competitive. And so you're trying to make deals before someone else does. And so the pressure can be very high also in those situations because of the amount of money involved and the amount of potential risk for losing money if you don't get that deal made. So if you're very competitive and like that, maybe being in an investment banking type position would be a position that you would enjoy. You've got to be comfortable utilizing technology. Everything that we do deals with a computer. So it's extremely important that you're comfortable working with the computer, able to adapt to different types of software and different working systems. Different banks use different ones, but also being very comfortable with the basics like Microsoft Office, Word, Excel. Those are pretty much used in all of the positions throughout the banking industry. Strong written communication and verbal skills is extremely important. Whether you're in an accounting position where you're just dealing with things on paper, that written communication is extremely important. Or when you're working with members or customers face to face, both written and verbal is extremely important as well. So you have to be comfortable and able to explain things to people from all walks of life and all different skill levels as well. And depending on the positions, as you work your way up, like I said, for tellers, the education required is typically a high school diploma or GED. As you move into other positions, they require additional certifications, higher education. Typically, management positions or positions in accounting do require a degree because it's more specialized, and the amount of information that you have to process. For accounting, you have to know generally accepted accounting practices. So those positions do require higher education. And mostly, if you like to make money, banking and finance is a great industry to be in. Even through all of COVID, many things have changed, but we are a very relevant industry. People need their money and need access to money. We have to have it. So the jobs in banking and finance have been very steady. And as a company, we were very fortunate. We have not laid anyone off. Throughout COVID, we actually are still hiring. So if you'd like to make money, I highly suggest you look into jobs in banking and finance. Banking and finance is one of those industries that is extremely relevant. It's a great opportunity for you to have a steady income and have a steady work environment. So if you like to make money, check out banking and finance.